Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I wish I could just talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. It's strange. Such a little thing.
How many times you watched that thing?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how Dead Space begins. As you can see, we have our three main, I would say, characters for this game. There's two other characters in the front, but I'm not gonna lie, they are very, very unnecessary characters. They get killed off pretty early. You're gonna see in a moment. The man sitting down is Isaac Clarke, and he is our main protagonist for this game. You won't be able to see much of his face, however, there are two instances that you will. One is coming up very soon, and the other is at the very end of the game. The woman on the left is Kendra, and she is like the technical officer for the Killian coming to repair the Ishimura. She's a very interesting character, and I'd rather go more in depth with her later on. On the right is Hammond, and he serves as a security officer. Let's just say both Kendra and Hammond don't get along very well, and this is something I kind of like about the game. Their relationship is at odds with each other, but that's what I like about it. So yes.
You're gonna need to boost the signal if power's low.
Yes, we know. Is everyone okay?
What? What the hell were you thinking? Were you trying to get us killed?
And there you have it, folks. That's Isaac Clarke. You can do this very early on in the game. A lot of people didn't know that. To me, Isaac Clarke kind of looks like a bit like Jude Law. If they're ever going to make a Dead Space movie, they might want to cast him. I don't know about you guys, but feel free to post a comment on what Isaac Clarke looks like to you. But he always looked like a Jude Law to me.
Okay, we're done. Clean bill of health for everyone.
Alright. We've still got a job to do. We're moving out.
So yeah, we didn't have a very good landing onto the Ishimura, but most of us are still alive, for now. And here we get a really good look at Isaac Clarke's suit, which is very practical for what it is, but as we're gonna play through the rest of the game, I'm gonna have a bit of complaints with some of the suits, because I feel some of them don't make a whole lot of sense to me, but this one does.
You didn't lose power to the port booster. You lost the port booster. Unbelievable.
This part right here always reminded me of the opening part of Half-Life 2 when you step off the train and you look at Dr. Brin's broadcast welcoming people into CD17. So it's a nice little detail of introducing players to the Ishimura, giving a bit of a backstory on the ship itself, because you're going to be spending the most of the time on here anyway. So it's a nice little detail, or window dressing onto the world itself.
Huh, that doesn't look good. She's taken a lot of damage.
The tram system's offline. Getting around's gonna be difficult. The air seems to be flowing again. That's a start.
What the hell was that?
Automatic quarantine must have tripped when the filtration system restarted. Everybody relax.
What was that? Did you hear that?
Not sure.
What the hell?
And here we're introduced to the enemies of the game, the Necromorphs. This Necromorph in particular is called the Slasher. As you can see, the Asian pilot and the mustache guy, they were pretty disposable. However, the Asian pilot will be seen soon. So as we make our mad dash out of there, there's a room that we just passed right now. We'll be able to get into it later on, but some people didn't know about that. Now that we got away from the Necromorphs, we are finally introduced to the very first weapon of the game, the Plasma Cutter. And, in my honest opinion, it's the only weapon you really need. It's the most effective, and it does the job quite well with cutting off the limbs of the Necromorphs. There are other weapons in the game, but nothing really beats the Plasma Cutter anyway. As a matter of fact, they made an achievement to play the entire game with just the Plasma Cutter. As a matter of fact, this entire playthrough will be played with the Plasma Cutter. I will be showing off the other weapons. Some of them are effective, while others are not, but I will be making a separate video. But the general gist is that the Plasma Cutter is the most iconic and the most effective.
Isaac! Isaac! God, I can't believe you made it.
Isaac, we ran into more of them on the way over here. Are you okay?
More what? What the hell are those things? Is that the crew?
Keep your voice down. Whatever they are, they're not friendly, and half the doors on this ship are locked because of the quarantine. Now, we have to get to the bridge. But first, we gotta repair the tram system.
You're crazy, Hammond. You're gonna get us all killed.
If you listen to me, I will get you out of here alive. Now, what's wrong with the tram?
The data board is fried, but there should be a spare in the maintenance bay. There's also a broken tram blocking the tunnel that needs to be repaired. Damn it! Everything is on the other side of this quarantine. We can't reach it from here.
No, we can't. But you can. Isaac, if I can get to the bridge, I should be able to access the personnel files. You fix the tram, and I'll help you find Nicole.
As you heard Hammond, we gotta fix a tram and get a circuit board for the system. There's a lot of fixing you have to do in this game. After all, this ship is pretty broken. And you are an engineer after all. However, one of the main criticisms of this game is that it gets a bit repetitive where Hammond or Kendra have to send Isaac to fix things, you know. Isaac do this, Isaac do that, you know. But for me, I got used to the game and it's part of the nature. You're an engineer after all. So you gotta fix it. This moment right here is what I think is the beginnings of Isaac Clarke's dementia, as you can see right now. You saw a shadow pass by in the hallway, yet there's nobody there. And if you look closely, it was a slasher. But for whatever reason, there is a slasher at the end of this hall, as you can see the shadow right now. But I don't think it's that exact slasher that passed him. As a matter of fact, I think it was no slasher at all. It was just his mind starting to go crazy. And in this game, anytime you see a necromorph down, don't trust it. Kill it on the spot. See what I mean? However, later on in the game is going to trick you into this. I'll highlight it once it comes up. And here we have another great example of great window dressing onto the world of Dead Space. And it's these writings on the many walls of the Ishimura. Some of it's just like graffiti, but others are like messages or warnings onto people. As you may have noticed, some of it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense, while others is just completely, you have no idea what it means. Like a lot of like these symbols and like, what is this? And these are the Unitologists' handwritings. That's the main religion of throughout the Dead Space universe, and a little bit more on that later. But what I'm highlighting right now is the alphabet to the Unitologist language, and so you can actually translate a lot of their stuff into, you know, normal everyday English for us. Even though you can just pretty much look up all this stuff on the Dead Space wiki, which is less time consuming. So yeah, it's overall a nice bit of detail onto the world of Dead Space.
Now operational. Tram arriving at flight deck station. Quarantine lifted.
All right, we're on board and heading to the bridge. Good work.
Strange. The quarantine just lifted.
Whatever was in the flight lounge must have left. That's lucky for us. Isaac, get back to the Kellion and prep it for launch. We'll find out what we can from the bridge and meet you there.
If we live that long, you're out of your league, Hammond. This is suicide. We're going to
Your
die
lack
out
of
here.
confidence in me is duly noted, Miss Daniels. But I have a mission to complete, and that's exactly what I am going to do, with or without you. Do we understand each other?
Just get us out of here alive.
Now that we got the circuit board fixed and the tram fixed, now we can head back onto the killing, just what Hammond just said right now. As a matter of fact, that whole little segment's a nice way to show off their relationship, both of Hammond and Kendra. You know, they're gonna be a lot of back and forth against each other. Kendra's gonna be accusing Hammond a lot of, you know, oh, don't trust Isaac, don't trust him, he seems shady. Which is funny because Kendra herself is pretty shady as well, but more on that later. I could have shown you me getting the circuit boards and the tram fix, but nothing really happens. The only thing noteworthy is that I got the stasis module, and the stasis module, what it does is slows down enemies, and it's a nice little backup when you're stuck in a sticky situation, but I hardly ever use it. But still, it's nice to have it.
What the hell is happening down there? What happened to the shuttle?
That was our ride home. It's the only way off the ship.
Kendra.
No, Hammond! This changes everything!
Just let me think. Can you access the command computer?
It's no good. There's an executive lockdown of all primary systems. Without the captain's authorization, I can't access them.
Well, where's the captain?
Here he is. Captain Benjamin Mathias. Location? Med lab. Status? Deceased.
What? How?
I can't access that information. Find the captain and you'll find his rig. With his authorization codes, I can crack this computer wide open.
Damn it. Isaac, I'm sending the tram back to your location. Get to the medical deck and find that rig as fast as you can.
What was that?
And here here we have some of the advertisements throughout the Ishimura. Some of these advertisements are, you know, just for a bunch of products, and for this, like this one, Peg, there is always Peg. This is like, I guess for like an album for the singer of Peg, which I guess is like their version equivalent to like Lady Gaga or something like that. You know, some pop diva or whatever. But in my opinion, some of these posters are going to be telling a much deeper theme throughout this game, but I'll get onto that later on. And here we have the store, which is, every time I see the store, I'm always happy because I can sell all the stuff I collected throughout my adventure and just store a lot of things that I need. Pretty much the equivalent to the merchant from Resident Evil 4. But unlike the merchant, I think the store makes better sense here than the merchant in Resident Evil 4. But still, it's nice to have something like this in the game. Now that we have accumulated enough money, we can actually get the next suit 2, for Isaac Clarke, and overall an improvement from the first suit, as you're going to see right now. There you have it, folks. Suit number 2, which, better, but this is where, in my opinion, the complaints start to settle in that the helmet always looked weird for me. Even it's pretty much iconic for the character of Isaac Clarke, but I don't know. It's the 2 like slots, I guess, that he sees through, which to me kind of don't make sense. Why would you have 2 to see through? Don't you just need like 1? See what I mean? It's like 2 like slots, and then you're gonna have 3 slots for the next one, and it's just stuff like that that I don't know. I find it kind of weird. Yeah, it's just probably just me. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of this chapter. So 1 down, 11 more chapters to go. As you can see, this is the tram, which is going to be the main source of transportation from place to place throughout the Ishimura. Each chapter ends and begins with the tram, pretty much, except for the final level, but I'll get onto that later on. You can see some of the in-game advertisements, even within the tram, you know, more of Peg, which you're going to be seeing a lot of her throughout the game. Well, that's pretty much it. Let's continue our adventure, shall we?